noise!
Why do you think that Dynasty didn't quite get over as much as some of the other Solar acts, in terms of sales and radio play?
Well, because Dynasty really, unfortunately, but fortunately, so it just depends on how you look at it. Dynasty was so busy recording everybody else's records and giving them hits that Dynasty didn't have time to focus on Dynasty. And so Dynasty didn't get love from Dynasty. Dynasty was giving love to everybody else. So as these other groups are going up the charts and everything, they're our songs. So we're happy. They're going up the charts. We're making money that way. But as a group, we're not getting the kind of love and attention because we're not giving it the kind of love and attention that we were giving all the other acts. So you see Dynasty on all these artists, but you see our names on all these artists, but Dynasty is just kind of like just there and not getting the love and attention that it deserved, because there was something that was more important, and that was making sure that Solar had hits for their art, for all the artists. So I think Dynasty could have been huge and would have been huge if Dynasty was smart enough. And when I say Dynasty, I'm talking about all of us. If we are smart enough to say, we need to focus on Dynasty. We need to stand up for Dynasty, because now, to this day, all those acts can go out and perform. People know who they are. But Dynasty won't get the same kind of love until we hit that stage and they hear us and they go, oh, they sound good. Well, they sound, because we are the sound of Los Angeles Records. We are that sound. And but we never, as Dynasty, got the recognition. We did as writers and producers and musicians, but not as Dynasty. And that's sad. That's sad information.
It's a little bit of a sad irony, to that.
Yes. Yeah.
I think there's also a little confusion on the image of the group, because it changed so much, in terms of how many members there were and what Dynasty was,
Right. And that had a lot to do with the initial thing. Started out with a couple singers, and then they added another singer, and then the plan was just to add the whole band eventually. But we could never even get to that, because by the time it was getting to that, Solar was coming to an end. And the writers and the producers and artists were going to different places. Like I went to A&M, and Dana Myers and myself, Joey Gallo, and William Zimmerman all went to A&M. I think it was '85, and so, but so it was because the Solar run was from '78 until '85. It did what it was going to do in terms of what we were doing. Then they went, Dick went ahead on and did the distribution thing with the rappers and stuff, and that was a whole nother thing that I know nothing about. Besides Death Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name Solar is Sound of Los Angeles Records, but people always say Solar Records, right?
Yeah, I know. It's I love that name. As my record company, my radio station is Solar Records Radio. But I don't know how to describe it any better than that. It's the sound of Los Angeles Records is just a great name to me. I think that Dick really hit the nail on the head with that. And but it is what it is. It ends up like records, yes.
Yeah. How would you categorize, or not categorize, but classify and describe that sound that all of you had during that period? You know, what are some of the characteristics that you would identify for the Solar sound of the early 80s?
We were classy R&B, pop classy R&B, because we crossed over. Our sound would cross over because it was classy, but it was funky and it was R&B. So it had all those elements. And so it was like with Shalamar, it was very easy to cross over overseas. It just, the Whispers are a little more R&B-ish. They were that before they even came to Solar. But then when And the Beat Goes On came out, it took them to another level and a whole nother space, another type of audience. And then the other groups, so I think that's the answer.
Yeah, definitely. I think it had that accessibility, but also there were so many great songs that were written, when it comes down to it. I mean, really, it's all about the songs and how the songs are strong, not only then, but they stand the test of time. They're standing the test of time.
Yeah. And, and that is, I want to make sure that I say this because it's important that a lot of this happened because of Leon Sylvers. He was the sound, and all we did was come and embellish it. And we brought our history, whatever we learned, and our skills to it. But he was the actual creator. And he was writing so many songs. And so that Dick Griffey got Leon at such a wonderful time. It was just magical when that all came together. And we could not stop being on the radio. We were on the radio constantly all day long. All day. On different stations. Just Solars everywhere. And it was just like, whoa, this is great. This is wonderful. And the strangest thing about that, you don't think it's going to end until it ends. Then you go, what happened? It's because it gets going so much, and it's so beautiful. But Leon deserves that because he, just like Smokey Robinson was that with Motown, Leon was that with Solar. He made that thing happen.
While you were there, did you do any music videos, or were you on TV at all that you remember? Any experiences that stand out to you?
Well, we did videos in Canada. We did stuff that we did the stuff for our singles, our songs. I've Just Begun to Love You. There's a couple of other songs. And then we did Soul Train a few times as well. We did another TV show. We did, a few TV shows. So it was very interesting. Do Me Right, we did video for that as well. Something to Remember Me By, we did a video for that. And so we did a few things. But like I said, Dynasty never got the love from Solar like we should have.
Yeah. Did you feel silly lip syncing drums?
No, because I knew I was the drummer on the record. I was copying off of myself, right? And so that was good. It was fun.
So, huh?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever.
Before we move on from that golden era of Solar and talk about some of the other stuff you did, Is there anything else you'd like to share related to that solar experience, or we pretty much covered it?
No, you've done a great job. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. So you went to A&M, and that gave you an opportunity to work with people, I'm guessing, like Janet Jackson, right?
No, we did that at Solar when I was still at Solar.
Oh, you're still at Solar for that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I think on the period when we were getting close to moving forward, I think that was the last year when we did that before I ended up over at at A&M. But I did Regina Belle over there, the Jets over there at Atlantic Starr over there at A&M. And so, yeah, I got the chance to meet and hang out with some pretty cool people.
Well, and some other big hit makers right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I did the Secret Lovers album, the Jets' first album that was platinum, came out their platinum album, and we had a good time, good little run there. I wanted to do more, but we were like trying to figure out what we were going to do. Dana Myers, William Zimmerman, Wardell Potts, and Joseph Gallo were a bunch of producers that were trying to figure out, were we going to start a company? Were we going to do this? Or we going to do that? Because Leon Sylvers, actually, Warner Brothers wanted to do a company with our company at Silver Spoon. They wanted to take Silver Spoon Productions and give us a label, but something went down wrong and it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And so we were thinking, okay, well, maybe we could do that ourselves now, but we just could not get everybody in sync and couldn't make it work, so it just didn't happen. So that was about it. We had a pretty good run. I think we were at A&M Records for about 5 years, and that was good.
How was it for you working with producers outside of Leon? I mean, that must have been a change.
Well, the change is that I was the producer, so Leon taught me, and then everything I did outside of Leon, I was producing.
So all the stuff you did at A&M, you were producing?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So how did it feel? How was it for you moving into that chair?
Frightening. It's like all the responsibility is on you, and then hope you're looking at your peers like, I hope you guys think this is cool. I hope I did a good job, because coming behind Leon is no joke, and he was really, really good. So it's like, just getting close to him was good. So it was hard, man. But Leon is responsible for that, because I remember when we started doing other people outside of Solar, I was still with Leon. We were in the studio with Glenn Jones and different artists and Rocky Robbins. And then Leon said to me, hey, I want you and Ricky to produce Glenn Jones. And I was like, what? Get produced? Produce? And he's like, yeah, you said you wanted to produce, right? I said, yeah. He says, okay, here you go do it. I said, he just threw me in the water, man. So I've been blessed because of it, but it was I was a nervous wreck producing Glenn. Oh, I never produced anybody. I don't even know how to say we're finished. I never produced anyone. So, but it was beautiful. I learned. He knew that I was learning because he had me working with him. When he was playing the bass, I always punched him in, and I would help punch some of the other, like the guitars and stuff in. And so he knew he was grooming for that, but I didn't know what he was doing. All I knew is that I was just there. We were roommates, so I was always, sometimes I'd just be there hanging out, after we had recorded our parts, I'd just be hanging out. And that was good. We all just kind of hung out with each other. Loved them, supported each other.
What was it like working with the Jets? I mean, in a way, that was like going back to the Jackson 5 thing again, Yeah,
the Jets were this beautiful group of children that, teenagers and stuff, and they were just They were beautiful. They're from the islands and Hawaiian Islands, and they had that energy, and they were ready to go, and and so the management thing was not really tight, but they were a family, and so after working with the Sylvers and and other family groups, you kind of knew what to do with when you're with a family of a group, and so it ended up being a really good time with them. I enjoyed their personalities and the characters running up and down the hallway in the studio, and they just giggling. They're just kids and doing their thing, man, and them being blessed. So I thank Gerald Busby, who gave us the opportunity to work with them. He was the A&R director over at MCA at the time. So he's passed on now, but he was very cool at opening the door and giving unknown producers the opportunity. He knew us as writers and and musicians, but he didn't know. He was like, "So what? I don't care if I've heard you. This demo that you gave me is produced. I want you to do exactly that on them." I said, "Okay." So
And that's
it was great.
I'm sure polar opposite from like Atlantic Starr with the Lewis brothers, and they had already done so much stuff and had success. So how was it working with them?
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed them. They're very, very classy brothers. The Lewis brothers, they're very, very classy. And Wayne was very, very smart in his approach to getting his project done and getting it done right. And so we wrote a song together called "In the Heat of Passion," um, and that was fun. And just listen to him writing lyrics is just ooh, he's really good. He was very, and they stayed at this place. It's like those hotels, but you kind of live in like it's a what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so you stand
Extended stay.
and I would go over there. Huh?
They're called extended stay, those places.
Yeah. Yes. And so we had a great time. I would go over to their place and work on the songs and stuff. Very, very easy, very professional, and it was very nice working with those guys.
So what came next for you after that? After A&M and
Then I started working with Jelly Bean Benitez, and he's one of that got Madonna signed and all that kind of stuff, and so we just started doing dance stuff. I started doing dance music, and that was kind of just a weird thing, but it was just another dimension in my life, and just the music is taking me someplace else, and I was never really against trying new things, and so I tried it, but it wasn't something that was up. It was dance, but it wasn't like a legendary, like gonna live for a long time kind of music, and so I just didn't feel it after a while, but I enjoyed the opportunity, and then I ended up going to South Africa, and that was beautiful. People in South Africa, oh my goodness gracious. So sweet, so kind, so beautiful. And I enjoyed working with them when the Serafina movie, the artists, all the different artists over there that I got to work with. Um, Danny Sim, one that I, asked us to come out there. And so Ricky Smith from Dynasty, myself, and Amir from Kool and the Gang, and we were over there and we were writing and producing, different acts and stuff, and got an award, and just things were it was great. We had a good time.
what year abouts was that?
93.
Wow, that must have been such a mind-opening and expansive experience to go do that.
Yeah, it was, it was definitely mind blowing because I was very uncomfortable going because based off of what the media was showing that there's so much violence over there. And this, when the apartheid just came to an end. And so to go over there, I was like, I don't know if I want to go there. But that's why I started screaming about how wonderful the people are because once I got there, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. These people are beautiful. And then we went to Swaziland, we went to Sun City. It was beautiful. The most best that I've never seen a recording studio like the one in Sun City. So beautiful, so rich, and unfortunately, all that stuff got tore down now. But it was a wonderful, wonderful place, and I learned a lot about my people. It was good. I was like, oh, because I saw people that looked like people I knew. I said, he looks just like looks like somebody I know, and but I learned a lot, and I really enjoy it and I miss South Africa. And hello to my attorney, she passed away, but there's other people over there. That was another one of my attorneys, and much love to her and the family and stuff out there. They are having a difficult time with this coronavirus right now. But so I just that they're all safe and things work out for the world for all of us. And so, anyway.
So, when you came back, did you get involved with some of the revivals of any of the solar acts? And if so, when did that happen? No?
I did. No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't do any. No. When I came back, I was just trying to figure out. First of all, I was like, what happened to everybody? And all the A&R directors was gone. They were like, I was like, whoa. And then, so at that time, they were starting to hire DJs to be the A&R director. And that's when, to me, music started going this way. Declining because it's one thing to be a DJ and know what a hit is, or an A&R person and know what a hit is, but it's another thing to create a hit. And so, from scratch. You have people come in and they like, I'm a singer, and so, and so they didn't know that they didn't have that down about, okay, well, you should work with this person, do this and do that, and then, we'll have this. It was like, and before you knew it, record companies wanted you to come in with projects, complete projects. Like, well, hold on, what happened to the A&R person? Like the Joe Busbys that were created and tell you this, I need that, but that was gone. And so to me, that's when music started nosediving, and we started losing a lot of great songs, great artists, because we didn't have people that were flying the plane that knew how to fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enter the era of one-hit wonders and homogenized sounds, and
absolutely. We stopped building careers because we started instead of doing albums where you have so many songs on there, you're building a career. But we started doing singles, and so you only last as long as your single lasts, and then you're gone. But with an album, you got more. You got all this, stuff on there, and a good album, not just any album, but you got stuff. But that died. It became about singles, and that's where we are still today. It's about singles, but you see that they're trying to do the vinyl. We're doing the album Dynasty right now.
I heard the track. That one track is pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So we're working now on doing an album because we didn't realize that people were going to receive us back the way that they did. We went to number 2 on the charts, and we were excited about that. So we were like, hey, they like it. Let's do it again. Let's do it. So we've been doing it anyway. Everybody's been doing their own thing, and with other projects, I do more movie stuff, and then I do my radio stuff, and so everybody's doing everything. So it's like, okay, let's come back together and see what we can do. And so we did, and we did. And it's like, oh wait, we can do it again. Let's do it again. So we have a new album that will be coming out of the first of the year.
That's fantastic. I mean, there's hunger out there for quality R&B and funk, and it's so underserved for so long that I think there's some pent-up demand for it, and it's why you're seeing there was success before, of course, Corona hit, with some of these, revival tours with some of the old bands and things like that. But
Yes.
they want new music too. I know I speak for a lot of them, and I want new music from these groups that we love and that we don't get to hear that type of craftsmanship anymore, in the R&B and funk. So,
And my advice to those people that you're talking about is just do you. Don't try to copy what the kids are doing, because your fan base, they're not interested in that.
yeah.
They want you to be. That's why they're your fans, because they love what you did. So just recreate it, and just you can update the sounds, but still give us the quality grooves that you gave us before. That's all we asking for.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, Wardell, on that. I mean, so many of them got lost trying to chase trends that those misguided label people were directing them in those directions, and then when they failed, they cut them free, and it was just so unjust. They got screwed over that way. Stick to what you do, man.
Yeah, just do you. We like you. We're not asking you to try to be him, or her. Be you. And so we get so confused with that, not knowing what to do. I want something like what's on the radio. Okay. No, you need to do what you did. That's what we like. And a lot of people get confused with that. Like even writers, they get signed up. We signing you up because we love what you did, and now you want to do something else. We don't know about that. All we know about is what you did. So can you give us that? And some people just kind of miss it. I don't get it. But
yeah, also
it is what it is.
Trying to chase hits or pop trends. If you got the talent, you got the goods. Just do it. And people like yourself, right. I mean, that's the case. So bring it. That's all you got to do.
Yes. And I love that word. I think I might write a song called that. Bring that phrase. Bring it.
Yeah.
Oh, you go. I know you'll be looking for credit, right? I got it. I see all those awards on your wall back there. You're like, hey, I need more. I
I am not close to you. Not that I deserve to be, but
good.
So when and why did you start the radio show?
Because I kept on doing interviews, and then people would ask me, say, hey, would you like to come on and talk a little bit more? And so I started doing it like every Thursday. And then I started bringing guests on for them to have someone to talk to. And so I would bring the guests on, and I would end up doing most of the talking to the guests. And so then it was like, why don't you just have your own show? You should have your own show. And so then I started doing my own show every Thursday. It was Throwback Thursday. And then it got like, okay, I'll do it. So they had me do another Monday show. And so it started adding the next thing I was like, this is crazy. So I just started doing my own shows, and like every day. And then I just, and I enjoyed doing that. And I was with WDKK Radio out of Dayton, Ohio for a while. And for a couple of years, and then when that faded with their company, the owner of the company was not really pursuing it, but I loved the fact that it was internet radio, it was international. I was like, I have friends overseas going, hey, I heard your show. I was really, and so I just decided I want to keep on doing this, but people kept on asking me about solo artists and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start a radio station called Solar Records Radio, but I celebrate solar artists and all that stuff only on Fridays, but throughout the week I'll interview different people, different groups, different whatever, and I do jazz, I do praise and worship, I do everything. But I remember where I came from. So I do myself make sure, and so I love sharing my history.
Hmm.
It's a blessing.
What year did you?
And it's
I'm sorry. What year did you start
sorry,
it?
but just 2 years ago.
This 2 years.
It's a baby, no baby company.
Yeah.
I'm just a baby too in it, and I'm learning from you. I'm watching you interview me and learning, absorbing.
You're gonna have to teach me some drums, then, Wardell.
All right, well, they're right behind you, right there.
How much do you still spend time playing these days?
Uh, well, I play about 2 times a week. Yeah, on the average, about 2 times, maybe 3 times sometimes. But I haven't been on the road. I stopped going on the road when I had kids because I needed to be there with the mom, and because when you pull one part of the parent, or the gate is this is wide open, and kids can all kind of anything can come in and anything can go out. So needed to be there to support, make sure the kids were good. And so now that they're all grown and they have their own kids, now I'm ready to go on the road again.
Wait,
I'm ready to.
you're a granddad?
Yes,
Wow.
I'm old. I'm up there now, so granddad wants to go have a good time now and go I don't care what if it's a praise and worship concerts that I go play, or if I go and do pop R&B, I would love to do it. Country music, as long as it's good, clean music, I'm good to go, ready to go.
Who are a
Yeah, I
couple of
love.
what?
I just said I love playing. I love it. They make me happy.
Do you still bounce? Is there as much bounce as there used to be?
Yeah, I do. My wife talks about that all the time. Like you were just bouncing away. I was like, because I was like, yeah, I do. I love. I guess I do.
Yeah.
It's just a part of who.
The pots bounce. Who are a couple of drummers that you really admire and that inspired you that we would know?
um. Well, Lenny White, Billy Cobham, Tony Williams, Tony Westcott. Um, you probably wouldn't know Tony Westcott, but Tony Westcott was the guy that got me the job to come out here to play. He was the Sylvers drummer.
That's right. You mentioned him. Yes.
Right. And so Raymond Calhoun from the Gap Band, um, Fred Lewis from the original Lakeside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love the drummer for the Whispers live thing right now. Can't think of his name. And there was a young man that was playing drums for Prince, and he passed away.
Oh, John.
Yes,
John
Black
Blackwell. Yeah,
Johnson.
Blackwell.
Yes, he was. Woo!
He was a
He was a
powerhouse.
beast. Yes, he was. He was something else. I really admire him. So that's about it.
Yeah. And as you look back on all these great pieces of work that you've been part of, are there 2 or 3 tracks, songs that are just maybe your favorites, and if so, for what reason?
Okay. I Can Make It Better by the Whispers. And the reason why is because that's when I discovered Pocket. And I just love the bass line on that song. Love the way Leon's playing that. I've just begun to love you sticks out because it was one of the first hits that Dynasty had that we had a video to, and every time we performed it, we got standing ovation. It was just huge. Play drums on, right?
Could be just one you produced
Oh, okay.
or wrote.
And well, keep on loving me because I there's so many people that love that song, and that makes me proud of it and myself. Um, I don't know why I separate myself from the song, but um, it's a creation that stands on its own. A lot of people don't know who I am, but they know who that song. They know that song, and so I'm proud that I created that song from scratch. You know, and and it's done well.
You killed two birds with one stone right there, not knowing it, because I was going to ask you what you're most proud of, but I think it's probably that what you did with that song is my guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there any memory from the road that stands out the most to you? I know you mentioned that whole, tour with the buses and Lakeside and the breaking down of the bus. Is there anything else that stands out to you that was just really just an unforgettable experience out there somewhere for some reason?
There is. I don't know if I should say it, but there's a couple of them. I'm gonna say this one real fast. Nidra, Leon's wife, we were in the locker room and we were about to go back on stage, but she couldn't go back on stage because she was pregnant and the baby was having a problem. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure, but something like that. And it was like whoa, what's going on here? It was real dramatic and stuff, and so something like that. And but the thing that really sticks out, and you can edit, but the thing that really sticks out to me is that Walter and I, the Whispers, used to play tennis after the shows every night. And when we were on tour, we would make sure we had the hotels that we were staying in had tennis courts so we could practice, and we go out there, not practice but play. And so that's something that always pops into my head. Had a wonderful time, my relationship with Walter, and it was just good for me. Unexpected, because it happened so fast, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And so, but it was great while it lasted.
You still play tennis at all?
No. I'm a rancher now. I have horses and cattle and chickens,
Wow.
dogs, and yeah.
Seems like you should be wearing a cowboy hat instead of that baseball cap.
But the problem is I'm from Philly. If I put a cowboy hat on, all my friends are going to... the Eagles versus the Cowboys. And I try to tell them, I'm not in Dallas. This is not a Dallas hat. It's just a cowboy hat. They don't care.
Oh, shit.
They don't care. Well, what did he do? There you go. My man. I love it. There you go. Yeah.
So, Wardell, how
Yes.
can people keep up with what you're doing, and how can they tune in your radio show and all that good stuff?
Well, solarrecordsradio.com. They can go there if they want, or they can go to my Facebook page and look up Solar Records Radio Group. We have a group page. They would love for you to join because our group page is really some really wonderful people that really love on each other and not hate on each other. Very respectful. My company is a Christian-based company, and so we try to do the right thing, but we are all human and we do fall short. So, but, please come and hang out with us. We try to do what this man is doing and give you quality interviews and give you quality music.
Outstanding. It's been so fun talking to you and hearing those stories, and great getting to know you better. And, thank you so much for sharing.
Hey, thank you for making this happen. I appreciate you.
You bet. And stay safe. And
Yes.
We look forward to that new Dynasty coming up.
Yes, yes, yes. 2021.
Yeah.
Let's be safe, everybody. Be safe. We love you guys, and thank you.